And I'm back. We're going to do Mars today, and we're going to take the route to Hellas, Tharsis, Gradavis, Spear, Ares, Martialis, and then at war we're going to fight Lech Krill. And once this is all through, I will go through Phobos for the next episode. And I did do some off-camera farming so I could rank up all of my gear and then install some Forma on it. Already discussed what I was going to do with all those off in the previous episode, so we won't worry too much about that. Let's just... Oh, look at that! It takes more than one bullet to kill enemies now. I'm gonna have to start learning to play. Alright. Well, we're still just going through all these guys with the alarm off just for the fun of it, I guess. Just because I can. Then Lech Krill. Lech Krill is the boss that you farm to get frost parts, I believe. Which... Frost is kind of an older frame now, isn't he? Yeah. I just saw a video from Tactical Potato talking about like the idea of maybe they should try to rework Frost somehow. And he had this whole emphasis talking about how Frost should be more of a frozen warrior. I was like, yeah, that sounds cool. And for the little while that I did play Frost, I was using oh, I can't pronounce it. I have to look it up. I'll put it on screen. One of the skins for Frost that really just looks great. Way better than the standard skin by far. And when I was looking at that, I was thinking, wow, you know, this kind of looks Viking almost. And building off that, I was thinking, you know what else? Frost, Viking, Ragnarok. It's like, you know, that'd be really cool if there was some way to redesign Frost. So instead of this really disappointing static play that he has that doesn't really translate into the modern game. Because, I mean, look at how much I'm standing still here, right? Basically never. Wouldn't it be more interesting if Frost was designed around, like, being the Norse Ragnarok? And just he brings a terrible terrible snowstorm and just wrecks the place, freezes everything, make him a literal apocalypse. That idea was funny to me. And I was like, well, how would you do something like that? How would you rework Frost to be interesting? And I was like, well, who else is sort of similar to Frost? Well, not similar exactly, but thematically. Ember is also an elemental frame, with her focus being fire instead of frost. And she has that great temperature gauge that keeps her gameplay very engaging. It's like, that'd be kind of a neat thing to do. Have Frost run with some sort of a temperature gauge, and as he uses his abilities, he makes the world around him colder, so that his abilities are more effective.
The enemy is broken.
That might be
Well done.
fun. And I was
Now
like,
get to
I wonder
extraction.
how you could go around doing something like that. But yeah, like give him like a wind chill meter. That'd be cool. And award time. Again, I'm just kind of waiting on Forma before I can really adjust most of my builds, so we're going to throw Firewall on my Parazon, because why not? Yeah, right, and we're doing a mobile defense now.
This is a mobile defense mission. You must deliver payloads and defend a number of locations while I break into the network. Be prepared for heavy resistance. I can't do this without you.
Yeah. Oh, killing enemies with corrosive. Didn't even realize that was my daily
Here
thing,
is a
huh?
terminal.
Yeah,
Get
let's
in and get ready
get that
to
taken
defend.
care of.
This will only get more difficult. Get to a terminal and prepare for enemy resistance. Keep moving. None of the scanners have detected you. I'm in, Tenno.
Yeah, it's a
This will
Friday
take
after a
effort.
long work week, so I'm just trying to think of other good stuff to talk about for Warframe. The whole Frost rework thing does interest me. I think that'd be fun to try out. Maybe something that where each enemy that he gives a cold proc to, or
Still
each
working
enemy
on it.
with a cold
Continue
proc
to defend.
on the map helps lower the temperature so that he can get the best out of his abilities. Maybe change Snow Globe around, because the whole thing right now where it blocks line of sight is just, it's terrible. It just makes him a worse Limbo, and that's not what you want out of that. Maybe instead of making it do that barrier effect, it could block enemy line of sight, or
Area
give them
completed.
a
Move
penalty
on.
to hit, or an evasion bonus to allies inside of the area of effect, and represent that with like just a snowstorm. I mean, it's called Snow Globe right off the bat right there. That might be interesting, especially because evasion isn't... Well, evasion and hit chance effects, they're in the
Terminal
game and we
spotted.
know about them. They come up
Upload me
rarely.
and prepare to defend.
But
I'm
that
in,
might be a
Tenno.
good way to help
This will take
make
a
him
moment.
feel unique. Like Nyx, who I'm playing right now, has an ability where enemy to hit values are worse. That's just her passive. Having a Warframe that can give that as a buff in some way, that could be very interesting. And then I may have to look at that more, write more down about that. I am starting to notice the Dara is just beginning to fall behind where I would want it to be. But I think that'll be fixed after I put a new mod on it.
We are
Which,
finished here.
unfortunately, since I'm
Move
running
on.
this whole thing with no potatoes the way I'm doing it right now, that will be a bit before I can really take the full effect of this gear. It'll actually also make things kind of interesting for a bit here too, because it's going to get really challenging trying to keep up with no potatoes on any of my gear.
Location reached. Drop me in and defend our position.
Can't notice it yet, but I feel like I should soon.
I'm in, Tenno. This will take a moment.
The Dara was almost up to its next rank. Once it does, I'm going to form the Dara again, because then I can fit galvanized shot on there, and that should help me keep up with enemy improvements over the
Still
next,
working on it.
at least the
Continue to
next
defend.
planet. Now the other thing I've been thinking about that I don't know what I'm going to do yet is I said that I would give myself access to the helmet system once I reached Deimos and got to the oh shoot, the Necrolisk? Yeah. I don't really care about the open world content. If you haven't noticed, I can't even remember the names half the time. So the Necrolisk on Deimos. Once I reached that, I was going to give myself access to the helmet system. But what I couldn't think of is, well, I mean, currently I'm not even really having to worry about Nyx's powers. I don't use them that much currently. So my question was, what should I do with her powers when I do get access to that? It seems like mind control is the popular replacement. Yeah, well, we'll talk about that in a second. Reward time again, and I'm stalling again, so I'm going to put Untraceable on here for my Parazon mod. It's not really going to affect my play, it's just fun, and I haven't figured out what else to grab yet, so moving on.
I need you to sabotage this ship's reactor. The reactor is a complex system. Start by removing the coolant cells. My intel suggests there are rich enemy supply caches in the area, but I am unable to pinpoint their exact location. Search them out if you are willing to shoulder the added risk.
Alright, we are not going to go looking for the caches because we don't need to. But what I should be doing is I should be switching over to the Vipers for right now because I leveled up the Dara but not the Vipers. Now, I really do enjoy the new Corpus ship tile set here that we have going for the Sabotage missions and other Corpus ship missions. The look is just great. The only thing better than that is the sound, the audio, the music, the soundtrack that they added for these ships is just the best. I'm not really a big fan of the way they've got like random Austrian folk tied up here for you to rescue. Because you always feel bad not doing it. But you literally can't rescue them all, because you would never have enough. Well, you could for one mission, but not all of them. Kind of weird. So, like, here we are, we're going to blow this ship up, and those Austrian prisoners, they're going to get blown up.
The reactor is going into stasis. Now is your chance to complete this sabotage. Use whatever you can to make sure it never works again. A coolant cell has been extracted.
Something weird about this that I did notice. Now this most new players probably won't even be aware of, but there's 3 ways to blow up the ship. You put the coolant rod in the reactor core for a freeze effect. You put the reactor core back in to burn the ship, or you put the reactor core into the coolant station to get a magnetic effect. And the magnetic one I used to enjoy because ooh.
Restarting the reactor will produce hazardous magnetic activity.
Let's throw down some chaos and move around. Now I'm going to do the magnetic one just because I can, but there's not really a reason to do it anymore. The perk of it used to be that, well, I mean, one reason is that you can do it stealthily, sort of, but the reactor overheat one, where you put the spent fuel cell back in, that one is... It had previously an effect where you had to run through the ship to go find a security terminal to override the lockdown so that you could get back out to your ship, because it would lock the doors that were on the way to extraction. And apparently they've removed that now, I guess. I didn't even notice because I just always do the magnetic one just because.
Most cunning founder! With my life I protect your sacred crown!
Well, that was a convenient place for him to spawn. So with the magnetic one, I used to enjoy doing that because it doesn't have that lockdown effect. You just leave. Also, it's really funny because you can do it without setting off the alarms, and you can just stand here at this terminal while the ship is slowly being destroyed. I did not do that. I probably should have, because it would have been funnier. But, I do feel like the darkness is a little bit much. But, yeah, it's cool. Alright. What? And we're out. Reward time again, and I can't really think what to put on here, so I've decided to go with Boreal's Hatred because it fits right now, and it's something that I use on all of my other Nyx builds. So that's it. And we're doing a defense mission.
Our position has been compromised. Defend the cargo until reinforcements arrive.
Yeah, defense missions are not really my favorite, but I do actually like this map. The setup here with this little circular room. I don't know why I like it, but it's fun. So, yes, I don't need to explain. But I would like if these guys would just actually show up so I can shoot them. Okay. Oh. So, back to topics of conversation. Frost rework, that'd be fun. I don't know. I don't think I've got much more to say on that right now. I'd have to actually sit down and look over it to figure it out. Which, in fairness, I did recently start playing Ember and screwing around with her to try out different builds because I wanted to see how the heat gauge worked. Because it's interesting. And, it was a lot more fun than I was expecting, balancing all those different resources between your energy and your heat, and making sure that you don't run too hot for too long to prevent your one ability from draining all your energy. That was a good play style. And you get to do a lot of fun things, just kind of spamming AoE attacks, which, unfortunately, that is still the best way to play Warframe, is just aiming is bad, just hit everything, because everything covers the map all the time, so why not? So that made her pretty handy. It's also why Nyx is not necessarily that great, because, well, I mean, Absorb's alright. Chaos can be very handy. Yeah, this little taxon contributing in its own small way. Where? For some reason, they spawn and get stuck behind that container a lot, I've noticed. I'm not sure what that's about. So, after I finish Mars, I'm actually going to do Stolen Dreams next before I go to any of the other worlds. And I was trying to think about how I might do the Void, because the Void is just kind of There's 3 or 4 nodes each time you get access to it, so I might just attach those to whatever world. Like when I get to Phobos, I might just do the other 3 node missions as well. So we will see. Stolen Dreams, though, is starting to get into the more interesting territory for the story missions, and I do enjoy that. Oh. See, same guy, same spot. Now, currently my playthrough only has like essential story quests built into them, typically quests that are requirements to unlock different junctions. I was thinking about how could I work in some of the other quests? Like, would I want to do replays of Octavia's Anthem, for example? Do I want to work more quests in? Do I want to do Chains of Harrow on this playthrough? And my original plan was probably wouldn't, and I might just skip over those in favor of... Got him. Skip over those in favor of... Whoa! I hate knockdown. In favor of saving side quests for oh shit buttons. Like, if I'm going through the star chart and I get to a point where, like, I'm just short and I can't quite manage something, if I just really needed a reward, like Forma, like I have for my current reward tiers, then I could go and I could play through some of the side quests to unlock additional resources for myself. So I guess the goal then for this challenge would be to not play any of those, but I don't know, I might just do them as bonus episodes after I'm done too. Now, I think I mentioned this, was that my goal with the D-tier challenge was, the final goal was, once I finished all of the star chart, I was going to take Nyx and solo one of the sorties, just all 3 missions, and prove that, yeah, I can do that with the restrictions I've set down for myself. So that could be pretty exciting. I think that'll be the first time that I actually face any legitimate threat. And, well, I mean, I was kind of challenged early on when I had almost no health. There was a couple of times when I came very close to getting knocked unconscious, and since I'm running without my arcanes right now, I do have fewer revives. But, I mean, I'm not sure if I would call those that hazardous just yet. I think once I start getting up to 3 times in a row, that guy. I think once I start getting up to, like, dealing with level 80 content, then I might start to actually face some challenges.
Very impressive, Tenno.
Alright, reward time once again. I still can't even fit all of the mods that I want on things yet, but we're going to put in Malignant Force right now, just because I can fit this one, even though I do still have Galvanized Chamber off to the side, which I cannot afford to use yet. We'll get to it, but when I Forma this next, I'll be able to fit Galvanized Chamber, and then I'll have Malignant Force in reserve until I've Forma'd Serration, so that I can bring that over as well. Alright, here we are doing the world's easiest Sabotage. This is...
Okay.
This might be too
You're
easy.
looking for the mainframe. It's critical that you deliver the payload to that location.
What do you think? You think I can do the entire thing without being detected? No stealth frame? Just go? Well, let's try it. I don't have anything better to do. Oh. Where am I going? Oh. Yep. I recognize this tile completely. I don't think I've seen that tile in a long time, if I have at all. Oh, nice work, Taxon. Didn't expect that to get a kill. I mean, so far no one spotted me. So I guess I could get away with this.
Your target is this location's computer system. Find and access the terminals.
Shit. As it turns out, getting everyone to shoot each other is not the quietest solution.
We need to destroy the reactor. The reactor will have tight security. Watch out for enemy patrols.
And on we go. Oh, I guess that guy spotted me.
That's the reactor. Expose its core and destroy it.
Now I do have a Nyx Prime that I've been playing on not too long ago. That I've been using her to do Steel Path content.
That's it.
And
now get out of here.
playing between this playthrough and then doing Steel Path with my Nyx Prime, it's a really stark contrast in gameplay. In terms of this has gameplay and Steel Path is just so depressing that if it weren't for this playthrough, I wouldn't be playing Warframe right now. I'd be like going and watching Mystery Science Theater 3000 or something, because it's just not fun. This is entertaining. So I think I'm going to do a comparison later where I put up gameplay from this playthrough at some point up against gameplay of Nyx Prime and Steel Path. And you'll see which one's more fun. Reward time yet again, and still can't really fit any mods. Now, something that does appear in most of my other Nyx builds is Fleeting Expertise. So I'm going to grab that and set it off to the side here. And later, when I do have enough points to equip it, I will. And we're doing a rescue. And I am again going to try to do this one stealthy, just to see if I can.
Our intel suggests that our person of interest is in the vicinity. Search for the hostage and bring them home.
Then again, I mean, you should see my Deus Ex playtime. My version of stealth approach is usually wander through until you get spotted and then just start firing in every direction with the pistol.
We don't have much time.
So, looks like I'm being just as stealthy here as I am there. I don't have the patience for a lot of stealth gameplay, I think, is the problem. Alright, so I used to play a lot of Warframe with my clan. We used to screw around with the rescue rooms. A friend of mine likes to play Loki and use switch teleport to break out of bounds however many times and ways he possibly can.
The holding area. Careful.
And
if the wardens detect you, they will surely initiate
that can be a lot of fun. But he also found out that you can actually switch teleport your way into the different holding rooms. But when you do that, the rescue target hasn't actually spawned yet, which I thought was neat.
We've reached the prison.
So
Find
the
our
rescue
prisoner
target
in one of these
isn't
cells.
in the cell until after you have opened it. Wow, that was luck. And we're going to hack this ahead of time just so we can get our escape route ready to go. So
stars, not a minute too
Yeah,
soon.
alright.
Prisoner located. We need to get them back to command in one piece. Find your way to the exits, and don't leave the subject behind.
And I did, in fact, do the whole thing without setting off any alarms.
Extra gun?
Although I may have alerted a few people to my presence now. Oh, don't have to worry about that. We have one. Still working on my next up to level 30. That's going to take me a bit longer than I planned. Reward time again, still waiting on Forma, but I've decided I'm going to grab Corrupt Charge because as soon as I form up my Prime Pressure Point here, I'll be able to equip it. So we're going to put that off to the side for now. And now we're off to the boss fight. Lech Krill is not one of my favorite bosses. He's not one that I ever really had problems with exactly, but in fairness, I just kind of fought him the laziest way possible and brute forced it with Excalibur.
Strike first.
So it might actually be difficult for me if I have to pay attention and play it the correct way. And it's been a long time since I've actually had to worry about it, so
Take them out.
we'll see. Yeah, this is realistically my first point that I might be a little bit concerned. This is the first time I think I might die on a mission. Dara is surprisingly quiet. Oh. No witnesses. You know, except for those witnesses that witnessed it. Those ones. Dang it.
You are nearing Krill's location. Proceed with caution.
I wanted to have the alarm silenced for this fight, but too bad. Alright, so I have to shoot him in the back to mess up those stupid pipes.
Target spotted. Stay sharp. This one is a handful.
I wonder if... Ah. No, knock it off. Jesus. There are too many of them. What I'm doing right now is I'm looking for someone who'd be worth mind controlling. Because I would like a nice meaty distraction while I'm fighting Krill. But there's just not really anything out here. Y'all are disappointments. Who's that? You're disappointing. You'll do. Really? That's all I did? Oh my god. This is miserable. Okay. I cannot strip his ability defenses yet. Oh, it doesn't work on him on... I was hoping I could Psychic Bolt him while he was frozen. I guess not. Oh. Well, they'll settle for that too. Be a distraction.
They won't be bothering us anymore. Let's get out of here.
Really? No, we're not doing this.
Hacking into enemy systems. Await override.
Good job, Ordis.
Who's in control now, suckers? Security override engaged.
Best air support charge of that one right there.
Target down. Assassination contract complete. Great work, Tenno.
Alright, it is reward time. First thing off is we got Forma for taking down Lech Krill. We're going to polarize Serration here, which gives me 8 points. We're going to take Malignant Force off. Set it off to the side because I do still have the mod. I'm just not going to have it equipped. And put Galvan... Oh, are you kidding? Oh, wait, I know what I did wrong. Yep. There we go. I knew I'd worked out the math on that correctly. So next time we form a Serration and then we get the Malignant Force back. All right, and I do also get to select a mod, which
Excellent armaments, operator. Please return.
that explains why that went wrong. I didn't actually switch back to the correct loadout last time. Whoops. Okay, well, since we're already here on the Fang, let's just... What was the next mod I wanted? Quickening? Yeah, we'll take Quickening and set it aside for later. And this has been your rewards. Sort of. Okay. Now, I did actually notice something a minute ago, and that was that I forgot to do one of the nodes on Mars, on my map. And it is this defense node, which leads to Deimos. It's part of Mars, and I should have been including it, so we're going to do that now.
Impressive, Tenno. You held them all back. Time to get out of here.